you know that the federal minimum wage has been the same at 7.25 for 10 years, and currently a bill that proposed to increase to $15 an hour has been passed to the House for the vote, and many people are looking forward to see the vote. But for me, I think that we should not increase the minimum wage. Today we talk about why we should not increase the minimum wage, and I will respond to some of the opposing point of view. Uh, First of all, what is the federal minimum wage? You see, the rule said that companies must pay the uh, lowest hourly wage for their workers. Each state can have different minimum wage, but when it is different, the employees can have the higher wage of the two amounts. And why we should not increase the minimum wage? First of all, the low-skilled worker will be the first to be hurt from the increasing of minimum wage, because companies will lay off them first. According to San Francisco Office of Economic Analysis, an increase to $15 per hour would reduce the city employment by about 15,000 jobs. So when company cannot afford higher cost of labor, they will lay off lower productivity workers and force the others to work harder, or they may buy the new machine to replace the human labor, or even they can outsource the jobs to countries where the price of labor is much lower, for example to China. Secondly, small business will be hurt because they cannot afford the new machine, or they cannot outsource the labor. According to Richardson MBA, Vice President of fast food chain White Castle, his company would be forced to close half of its stores if the federal minimum wage was raised to $15. So even the big company still suffer from the increasing of minimum wage. Therefore, the increasing in minimum wage will lead to fewer jobs and lead to damage our economy. And the last one, the consumer will be hurt mostly because when raising the minimum wage, the companies tend to increase the price of products to cover the loss in profit margin. According to Purdue University, raising the wage of fast food restaurant workers to $15 would result in price increase of 4% and reduction in product size of 10%. For these three reasons, I strongly believe that the minimum wage should not increase, and there are some opposing point of view. For example, they think that increase the minimum wage would reduce the poverty, but according to Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland, when the minimum wage is raised, their working hours also decline, so the total income they earn was less than before. As the result, it would increase the poverty instead decrease. Some also think that the increasing in minimum wage would give you a better standard of living, but according to University of California, raising in rental price will raise to $170,000 if the minimum wage increase to $15 per hour. Moreover, the product price also increase, so that your standard of living will not increase if the wage is increasing. So in the conclusion, I have talked about why we should not increase the federal minimum wage and respond to some counter arguments. I hope next time when you see the bill increase the minimum wage, make sure you do not vote for it. Thank you.
So are you a proponent of a $0 minimum wage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he has said if I support zero minimum wage, so I said yes because the CD or the state should decide what is the minimum wage of the federal.
So, out of curiosity, do you think that there is exactly a wise strategy of reducing that minimum wage without technically taking off probably a good majority of the world's workforce in the U.S.?
So he asked that if I think that the increase in minimum wage will take out of the job in the U.S.
Just asking, do you think there's a method of reducing the minimum wage without taking off the majority of the workforce that has been increased by this?
He asked that if I have a method to reduce the minimum wage but not take out the workforce. So I think that if we reduce the minimum wage, a lot of people will have more opportunity to have more jobs because the company will have more choice to have their labor.
What was it that you said about the cost of living not going up if we don't move?
For example, when the landlord, she asked that what is the standard of living not going up when the minimum wage increase. So when the landlord know that their tenants have higher salary, they will raise their rent because a lot of competitor for the house, for example, that, and for the product, the company will increase the price of product. So when you have more money, you need to pay more money for the food or something else. So the standard will be the same. It hurt the economy also.
Just comments, please.
You did a really good job showing how it not only hurts businesses but employees and consumers.
I thought you had a lot of really good information.